All right, we're a little bit late today, but we're here with Al Stasek, one of the original honey badgers. He's the one of the founders and co-founders, and one of the reasons that it's named Honey Badger because he used to get the Honey Badger Award. So let's look at that real quick.
This is Honey Badger Nation,
where real estate agents from around the globe come together
to grow, collaborate,
and expand their business.
Where we take our individual fires and put them together and make one big fire.
This is the Honey Badger Nation.
All right. So we're here with Al Stasek. We're going to talk about burning the boats. And I just want to get out there. We're not going to burn our boats because I know you got a boat, and I just bought a boat like January 4th.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, man. We got a 40-foot trawler, and we're ready to do we're going to keep it in the Chesapeake Bay. So, it's about
beautiful.
Yeah. So it's an hour and a half from here. But anyway, we're going to burn the boats. Just don't burn my new boat. All right.
Right. That's right.
All right.
Ed, thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited.
You got it, man. Glad to have you. Thanks for taking the time.
You got it. So, I mean, you mentioned the boats, burn the boats. And, the first time that I had heard the story about burn the boats was in 2010. And in 2010, if anyone has been in the real estate business, that long ago, in 2007-ish, the real estate market started to correct heavily. And by 2008, you would say that we were, in the middle of a crash. So
yes, sir.
Coming out of that was tough. I had just started my team with Remax, and I had met, Michael Reese and Jay Kinder, and I soon went to their first conference, and I heard a guy by the name of Hoss Pratt up on their stage, and he told this story, and this story changed my life because, at the time I was, heavily in debt. Really, I wasn't going to quit, but it was extremely difficult to sell a home. We had short sales, we had everything going on. I had every excuse in the world to quit, change up, maybe go get a regular job, whatever it is. But luckily, I stayed in the pocket and things worked out. I met some great friends and mentors in the names of Jay Kinder and Michael Reese. But what Hoss said that day was basically, he told a story. And the story is a story of a gentleman by the name of Hernando Cortez. And in 1519, Hernando Cortez set sail from the shores of Cuba to the other side of the ocean to the Yucatan Peninsula. And Hernando was interested in stealing the most expensive, the most wealthiest treasure known to man. And this treasure, look, conqueror after conqueror were trying to get this treasure, and every single group that came after the treasure lost because it was being guarded by the most deadly army on the planet. And so what ended up happening was Hernando, he had to recruit sailors, he had to recruit warriors, he had to get people excited about the opportunity. And so, there's Snoop Dogg. He loves the story of Burn the Boat. So yeah. Long story short, Hernando got all of his men together. He spoke to them about the vision of what it could be like if they were to get the treasure, and how this could change the trajectory of not just their lives, not even just their children's lives, but their children's life. We're talking about generational wealth if they were to hit the payday and be able to get this treasure. So this wasn't a normal voyage, and it took extraordinary men and women to actually have this vision and get after it. But something happened. Ed, when they got closer to the shore, he started hearing some grumblings. He started hearing, people complaining and worrying, and they were getting really, really nervous. Yeah. And he was like, Hernando, I'm not sure about this voyage anymore. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I think we should turn back. Hernando stayed in the pocket, said, guys, wait till we get to the shore. So they get to the shore. They had 7 ships. They pull them up, anchor them, and they get to the beaches. Okay. He gathered them all around. These guys are so nervous. They think they're about to die. And Hernando looked at all of them, and he's thinking that Hernando's going to say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to split up in this 5 group. You go here, you go there. He didn't do that. He leaned in and said 3 words that changed everything. And he said, burn the boats. And his men looked at him and said, excuse me? He said, burn the boats. Because if we're leaving this island, we're leaving on their boats. We're not leaving on our boats. And they torched every single one of the boats. And when you torch the boat, that means there is no plan B.
No.
Plan A or die. It's fight and win or die. And this is just a picture of one of the ships being torched right there. And this is them on the shores in their, oar boats.
Cool.
And so, or rowboats, I should say. So when you burn the boats, my question is to your audience is that what boats do you have to burn right now? If you're being really, really honest with yourself, if you're looking in the mirror and saying, okay, I know that I have a decision to make to get me from where I'm at to where I want to go. And there's something stopping you. And oftentimes it's just a decision. It's a decision to burn the boats. And, in the real estate world, I got my license in 1998. And one of the things that I had to make a decision to do was burn the boats on my full-time job, because my full-time job was paying my rent. It was paying my car. It was paying my utilities. It was paying for food, but it was also a boat that I needed to burn to be able to move forward and really get serious about growing my business and really, attack it like a level 10 opportunity, because that's what it was for me at the time. And so, that's really what it boils down to with the burn the boat story. I mean, it's a story that really, if you relate it to what you need to be doing right now, what decisions you need to be making that you're not making because it's too scary to make the decisions. And that's kind of where that whole burn the boat story came to fruition.
That's cool. I've heard about it, but I never really heard you tell the whole story. So yeah, that's where I was. I joined in 1990 in real estate, and like you said, I had another job. There goes my dogs. they're outside the door though. And I quit that job in 1991, and I guess what I did was burn the boats. I didn't know it, but I had to put my nose to the grindstone and make a living, because that paycheck was gone, and you didn't get one in real estate. You had to go to settlements, so yeah. I guess I did the same thing. I didn't know the story, but I remember that was a challenging year, but it was a great year. Imagine where we'd be if we didn't both do that.
Well, it's scary, Ed. I mean, think about how we were raised. And I mean, maybe yours was different, but we were kind of raised in the way of thinking of, go to school, maybe go to college, get yourself a good job with good benefits. And what does that really give you? It gives you a sense of security. I believe false security, but it gives you that sense of like, okay, I'm nice and comfortable here. If you can get that good corporate job that has good health benefits and it's got, the steady paycheck and 2-3 weeks of vacation, and looking back when I was a kid, if you had a job like that, that was success.
Yeah. That's what
and so, and it's really just a matter of a couple just principles. And one of the principles is before you can burn the boats, I think you have to think bigger. The one thing that I think that's challenged me every single time and looking back is I wasn't thinking big enough. Even when I joined eXp Realty, I wasn't thinking big enough. I was thinking, well, this could solve some serious problems for my real estate agents that worked for me in my brokerage. And it could solve some problems for me, because if it solves problems for them, then it solves problems for me as the broker owner.
Sure.
But I wasn't thinking big enough. I wasn't thinking, that we'd have agents in 50 states. I wasn't thinking that we'd have agents in 7 different countries, including Canada, Portugal, France, Australia, Mexico, India.
Yeah.
Wasn't thinking big enough. So the biggest constraint that we have is the one that's in our own mind.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that, you got to think bigger. If you're going to go big, if you want to go pro, you got to think like a pro.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can see that with you and your team, and I know some of the people on your team, in your brokerage or your group, whatever you want to call it. I see all over the place that are definitely going big, definitely going big.
Yeah.
Honey Badger Nation, it's
Honey
huge.
Badger Nation, man. Yeah. I mean, the other principle that I guess we could touch on, Ed, is really just that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Going back to like having that good job with good benefits, and who knows, maybe even there's a 401k.
Yeah, right.
What people don't, I think, understand is that all those things were kind of like done for you services, but really, that was their own money. And when you have a 9-to-5 job, you're trading time for money. And what you're not doing is you're not building any kind of an asset.
Right.
What's very unique to real estate agents, us, is that we have it's a very entrepreneurial type of business that you can grow it as long as you stay within the legal bounds any way you really want to. You can get as creative as you want. You can get creative with your marketing and how you attract clients. You can get creative on your services and how you differentiate yourself from the other real estate agents, because we know there's lots of them.
Yeah.
So it's very entrepreneurial in that sense. The problem is that a lot of people get into real estate thinking that they're gonna, it's just gonna set them free, and they forget that there's a lot of hard work that's gonna have to take place before they can get to that freedom point. And the other problem is that dependent upon where you're growing your business, in other words, what brokerage you're growing your business at, you could be working for 30 straight years as a top producer and then look back and have nothing to show for it. And when I say nothing to show for it,
Yeah.
I mean, Ed, you tell me, you've been in the business longer than me, 1990. I was 8 years later than you. How many actual like retirement parties have you been to of
No.
real estate agents that they actually throw them a party and retire that isn't at a funeral home?
Zero. And you just hit you just smacked me in the head with that 30 some years, 29 years. I'm at the same brokerage. What did I take away? Nothing. I didn't get a gold watch or anything. You get nothing. You get a shoe in the ass saying, see you later. And, they literally couldn't care less that I was leaving.
It's the nature of our business. We're independent contractors. There's the goods to that is that we have the freedom to grow our business how we like.
Right.
The not so goods to that is that oftentimes we're not tied into the company that we're working for. And so, right. I was a diehard RE/MAX agent, team leader, and eventually earned this pin for the RE/MAX Hall of Fame. And when you hear that somebody's in the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, you must think, wow, what did they have to do to get into that? And that must be a big deal. Well, it took $1 million. You got to earn $1 million in commissions, and that's not in 1 year. That's cumulative. So there's, it's not unattainable, and you don't have to be a superstar to get this. But the point and what I'm saying is that this is what you get. This is it. Right. You get maybe this and maybe like a cheap certificate. And I can tell you this, Ed, I can't take this and deposit it into my bank account at PNC Bank down the street. I can't cash it in like I can my EXP stock that I've been able to accumulate. And so, it really boils down to, are you, I hear a lot of agents and this is respectable, is that they're loyal.
Yep.
And I'm sure you've heard about, the loyalty factor. And,
sure.
and it's a respectable thing. I'm loyal. Yeah. You're loyal. We're all loyal. The question is that if you're listening to this and you know that you could be doing something better for your business, and that even if we were able to show you the math, you're still going to ignore that. And just because of loyalty, you're going to decide to pay your broker more than what you need to be paying. The question is your loyalty stronger to your broker than your family? And you should really look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that question, because I'm just going to say this, and it might piss some people off, but if that's the case, you might want to check your values. Yeah. You might want to check your values. If you have a stronger loyalty to your brokerage than you do to your own family, and your kids' kids and your grandkids and the potential of you possibly passing down generational wealth, you might want to check your values. And I'm not judging you. It's an observation is all I'm saying, and so that's what I would say to people is that, I'm a loyal guy too. I was loyal to Remax until it came to a point where my loyalty, my family outweighed my loyalty to that brand.
For me, it was just I was loyal, obviously. 29 years at the same company. People don't even do that anymore with regular jobs. And that was what my dad did. 36 years at Campbell Soup, like that's the way it was. He was a research chemist. But and that's his flag, and that's his Purple Heart hanging on the wall behind me, God bless him.
God bless him.
So now I got sidetracked talking about my dad.
Well, you're talking about 29 years at the same company.
Yeah, right. And then
you don't see today anymore.
I wasn't even looking to go somewhere else. Somebody showed it to me, and I'm like, "Holy crap, that's a better way." It's like, it's like I can't just pass this by and sweep it under the rug,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's changed my life, and I know it's changed yours.
Absolutely, man.
And this wasn't all about EXP, this video, guys. Sorry about that, but it's about mindset and having the right attitude and and burning the boats. If you got to make a decision, it doesn't have to be switching brokerages either. It could just be something else in your business that you need to decide to do.
It could be business. It could be personal life.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this video is going to have an impact on the people who, bother to take the time to listen to it. And hopefully the biggest thing you pull out isn't, okay, I need to switch brokerages, but it's okay. I need to make a change. I need to make a decision. I need to make the decision that I knew I needed to make 3, 4, 5 months ago that I keep putting off and I keep putting off. And by the way, I'm sitting here preaching to the choir here. I mean, I have to preach this to myself every month myself, because there's been decisions that I've put off some of them for years, big life-changing decisions that I was just kept putting them off because the pain that I associated with the decision outweighed the benefit. But when you really, really get truthful and dig deep, then it's the right decision. And I can tell you the biggest impactful decisions that I've made they were burn the boats type of decisions. They were hard to make, but in hindsight, looking back at those decisions, they were the best decisions. I would not change them if I could do it all over again.
Life-changing. Yep.
Absolutely. So,
life-changing. Well, thanks a lot, Al. So to wrap this up, if you are interested in finding out more about the power of collaboration at EXP, just look down below. You can go to edenglish.me. You can put your name in the comments on Facebook here. You can message me directly. We can have a private conversation. Just open lines of communication. Just start a conversation. I'm not looking to recruit everybody that's out there. I just want to help people. I want to help people, and that's what I've been doing in my career. I was able to help clients. You put the clients first, and the business grows later. So now I'm able to do that with 19 agents so far in my group. And, I got hundreds to go because I'm back, which, some of you know why I'm back. Some of you don't. But, I put these decisions off too, as far as just doing the podcasts. Like I've been talking about this since last June. It's like, so, and I had reasons,
congratulations, Ed. You burned the boats. Good job.
I burned the boats, man.
Go, baby.
Thanks to Nick Krem. So just one question. What book are you reading right now? Is there a book you're reading right now?
Oh yeah, always. So this one right here is one that I just love it. I'm kind of going through it for a second time right now. It's called Die with Zero, and it's by Bill Perkins.
Okay. Cool.
And so this kind of goes against the conventional wisdom of literally saving every penny and dying with all this money. It's really, it kind of pushes against that old school conventional wisdom of saving your communion money for what? And then, so it's not about being wasteful, but it's about being more resourceful and spending your money on creating memories. Because this is what I'm going to leave you with, Ed.
Yeah.
And your listeners that I'm assuming mostly are real estate professionals.
Yeah.
If you're listening to me, if you heard nothing else up until this point, I hope that you hear this, is that on your deathbed, the last thing that you're going to be remembering and looking back on is how many houses you sold.
Yeah.
It's not what you want to be remembered for. If I'm, I doubt it. If you do, then we just have different values. But what you are going to have on your deathbed, and the only thing, are memories. So this book really kind of takes a deep dive into, dying with zero means, with zero regrets and looking back and really not having a whole lot of cash left over. Hopefully you've donated that, given it to your children prior to you sitting on your deathbed, and that what you are going to have is you're going to have memories. So the goal is to invest in memories and be purposeful with investing in memories, and don't do what I did for the first 10 years of my career, which is work my tail off, all for really nothing, a paycheck, a commission check. Build something that has an asset, and we'll see you at the top or from the top. Thanks for having me, Ed.
Yep. I just want to comment again, because you hit the nail on the head. And with zero, that's why I bought the boat. I bought the boat because I'm like, screw it. Let's buy the boat. I've had health problems, and now I'm like, buy the boat. Let's buy the boat. We're going to do,
baby.
You probably know what it's called, but I'll get into this later on. It's called the Great Loop. You ever heard of the Great Loop? Because you can go through Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You go up around, we start in the Chesapeake, you go up the Hudson to the Erie Canal, you cross over to get to Lake Michigan, down the river system to the Gulf of Mexico, go around Florida, and come back up. It's called the Great Loop.
Yeah.
That's why we bought the boat.
It's on my list.
Yeah, man. But
cool. I may make that loop and stop in the Caribbean and never come back. That's
well, you could do that too. Yep. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Al. Really appreciate it. You have a great day.
Friend. All right, Ed.
Yeah, well, take care, man.
Take care.
All right.